how on the children do this year, the Queen Quet coming on from Gullah, Geechee TV, Nayshun, Nyews, right here at the Underground Railroad Conference in St. Augustine, Florida. Now, by that time, 100 children be done journey with me around the country. The ladies your track since way back in about 1998, when we first get the government to make this thing a national network of freedom for utterance of children to understand the story of the Underground Railroad. Now, when we first get this thing going, this your sister been there, right there with me, been on the original advisory board. This is Sister Glenette Tilley-Turner. How honored to do it. It is so great to have you here. And I know, just like me, it's always a reunion when we come back to these conferences, and it's so great to now have this story coming southward, because you know from the beginning that's been my argument, like everybody didn't just, we came to Charleston, we came to St. Helena Island, and now here in Florida. Yes, so it is wonderful. Next time we got to go to Bahamas or Mexico or something, right? Exactly. But now it is wonderful because this is something that Sister Glenette and I had a chance to work on together. And I am honored because this is the first children's book that I actually got to consult for. And as y'all see, Fort Mose. Now y'all often hear me talk about it. You've seen me at Fort Mose. You've seen a proclamation given to me at Fort Mose. But I treasure this even more than the proclamation. All right? And I think it's an excellent story for children. But it's not a kitty book. It's not. I noticed that you actually have literal material from archives in this book. What made you decide, first of all, to even do a book about Fort Mose? I mean, you're not from Florida, right?
Well, I was for a while.
You were?
I went to 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
Did you?
No teacher textbook ever mentioned Fort Mose. Then about 40 years later, a cousin of mine wrote an article in the New York Times that told about the expedition that was being
Done, right.
Find out more about this Fort Mose.
Exactly.
And then I went down to the news, found this article that was people telling about
Oh, yes.
and I went there and I was
Yes.
young person got all
Research on it. Right.
and so
Okay. And they said, let's go for it. It is a beautiful book. Now, it's interesting because most times someone would take the history, the research, but for children, they would kind of caricature it. They would cartoon the images. They would make it really childlike as opposed to making it serious, and as opposed to using archival material in it. They would now make it where, you know, little teeny tots would kind of think it's a funny story, and talk it down to children. But I know, really, and insulting their intelligence greatly because of that. But with you going ahead and doing it in this format, you kind of raised the bar to me on literacy and on children's books on Black history, because that's one thing that in Florida, as you know, since you did grow up here, and lived here for a brief time during your childhood, is that you see a lot of things just talk about the Spanish, but not the Africans. So 3 miles from Fort Mose, and nothing in the school, nothing you heard in the community too much, and it took all this time later, and at least you're now bringing it about so that no one else will say they didn't hear about it. So have you yet heard from the school districts here in Florida about maybe using your book?
Yes, St. John's County Schools are very gracious and very interested. That's what Clay County.
Yes, we'll pick up on
Just
this.
got the state because it's just a missing piece.
It is. And of course, because you talk about Carolina and here, and our folks escaping and coming southward, we have to get the South Carolina Board of Education to also carry this book, because here it is that we have Cato, who was part of the Stoner Rebellion, leaving South Carolina. Where is he headed? Garcia Real de Santa Teresa de Mose, Fort Mose. So, yeah, and it's so meaningful, yes, and so powerful. And I just feel like from the cover to to the back cover, it just has so much of the essence, because I love the way they embedded the fort and everything right in the water. And you know, Gullah Geechees always say the water to bring me up and the water going to take me back. And so I thank you for taking us back in time in our story in a way that the family can share it, because I think this is something that everybody should have. Adults, don't feel bad going to the store and picking up this book, or getting on Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com, or looking up Tilley-Turner and finding this book for, I'm going to say, and ordering it for yourself, even if you don't have children or grandchildren, because it tells this part of our story that, as she said, is so missing from his storybooks. So that's why we have to put it in we books. And so I'm so glad that we're keeping this train on its tracks here at the Underground Railroad Network of Freedom, and this is a powerful addition to the story. So thank you for all the work that Hunter does do. And I know we're going to ride this train to the next location. All right. Peace and blessings, everybody. Hunter, know this year, the work going on.